The man was clearly a top assassin, but his gun was never loaded. He was an accident maker, a profession that, as the name suggests, involves creating accidents and causing the target's death. Seeing his target appear in his scope, Boyka didn't shoot him. Instead, he aimed the scope at a car about to turn and blew out its tire. Seeing his target reduced to flesh and bone, Boyka immediately packed up and fled the scene. When the police arrived, they would only think it was a simple traffic accident. Because his gun was only loaded with a piece of glass, Boyka successfully completed the assassination. However, to his surprise, his boss left him to collect his reward. Although Boyka realized something was wrong, he trusted his boss and didn't think much of it. However, when he finally arrived at the transaction location, he was suddenly ambushed by a killer. Fortunately, Boyka quickly ducked behind cover, narrowly saving his life. Seeing his gun empty, the killer immediately tried to flee on his motorcycle, but Boyka wouldn't let him, knocking him to the ground with a flying kick. Desperate, the killer engaged Boyka in hand-to-hand combat, but he was no match for him. Boyka pummeled him with a series of blows, leaving him unable to stand. Boyka demanded to know who had ordered him to do this, but the killer refused to answer. This instantly infuriated Boyka, who broke his arm without a word, then struck him dead with a single blow. To avoid further trouble, the accident maker faked the scene as an accident. While he successfully escaped, his ex-girlfriend wasn't so lucky. In the middle of the night, he suddenly received devastating news. His ex-girlfriend had died unexpectedly at home. On the day of the funeral, Boyka quietly arrived at the cemetery. After everyone had left, he slowly approached his ex-girlfriend's gravestone. Unexpectedly, her best friend suddenly appeared and revealed a shocking secret. She was pregnant with his child. This instantly devastated Boyka. That evening, a news report came on TV, reporting that the two robbers who had assaulted his ex-girlfriend had died from consuming too much candy. Boyka believed this case was more than just a simple coincidence. So to uncover the truth about his ex-girlfriend's death, he immediately went to her home to search for clues. However, it was precisely because of this that he discovered a truth he hadn't anticipated. Upon arriving at his ex-girlfriend's home, he immediately sensed something was amiss. After reconstructing the scene, he discovered that the two robbers had simply taken some money and left, which defied common sense. Sure enough, when he produced his ex-girlfriend's autopsy report, he discovered a special drug in her bloodstream. This drug is a common homemade injection used by assassins to coerce victims into revealing valuable information. This led Boyka to immediately conclude that his ex-girlfriend's death was the work of a professional killer, a method often used by his two fellow assassins.